which is close to the unique rating of hey y'all.
You said what?
Yeah, you're greeting. All right, like this is different.
This the new norm, right?
And I gotta look up here. Okay, cool. What's up?
Hey
Everybody?
y'all! Hey!
Tune in, share this video.
Man.
What's going on, y'all? Tune in, share this video. Let's talk about some major stuff.
Man.
Oh yeah.
This is our new norm, right? God. Man.
Facts. The new norm.
Shout out to my girl, Jazz, for these awesome of Dream Life. Is it Dream Life? Yep. Dream Life. She made these amazing masks, and we love them. So we out in style, yes, right. Yes.
We're also trying out the new Facebook Live, so we're not really sure how this thing goes, but we're definitely about to learn right now.
Yeah.
All right, so today, y'all, we got working through COVID with credit cards. Working through, man. If you're in the program, you should definitely be on this live.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna send all y'all an email telling you to go watch this live. Just to make sure that y'all are getting this information here. This is a big deal. The world is changing right in front of us, y'all. There's a lot going on, but some things are happening, and we're just not gonna fall victim to them.
Right.
We're gonna.
We gotta give my introduction.
We're gonna get ahead to some of this stuff.
Talking and stuff like that. We didn't even introduce who we are. There may be people on here that don't even have a clue as to who we are. Well, first of all, we want to introduce who we are and what we do. I am Lavera Coleman of Coleman Financial's Credit Repair, and
I'm Chris Coleman of Coleman Financial's Credit Repair.
Listen, and we love what we do. When we get on here, we're always bringing you the heat, the live, the latest. That's just what we get to do. Part of our story is we nearly divorced 3 years ago. Why? Because the lack of information, the lack of knowledge, and credit was one thing that definitely kept us bound. So, if your credit score need help, whatever it is, get some help. There is so many resources out here to help you. There is not an excuse. It takes a different type of person to work on their credit. I mean, it's a mindset shift. Mm-hmm. There's a lot that happens, from a person that has the desire to change their credit score. So that's it. But today we're going to talk about credit cards. And one of the key things in the chat or in the comments, we ask you, how many credit cards do you have? And we want you to comment below. So if you can hear us, definitely make sure that you're commenting. How many credit cards do you currently have on your credit report?
Right. And if you're watching, can you comment? Facebook is doing something new with the lives now where things aren't quite as obvious as they used to be.
Yeah.
But we're kind of just sifting through to see what are we looking at. I see you, Sierra. What's up?
Hey.
All right. She said, look very different. I bet we look different too.
All right.
So just how many credit cards do y'all have? So I see Sierra says she has 2. All right. How many credit cards do you have, Olivia?
Ooh. I think I have like 6.
Yeah, I think I have 7.
6 or 7.
7 credit cards. Someone says 0. Okay. All right. So no matter how many you have, this video is going to be helpful.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be helpful for you.
It's going to be helpful for you, for sure. So y'all share this video. We're about to get ready and dive in and start educating on some areas. Someone said to tag them, and I totally forgot, and I definitely don't know how to do it now. I might end up kicking y'all off if I tried to do anything about tagging somebody.
Was it Lataria?
I think Lataria and Chantel.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can do this.
So while Lavera's doing that, y'all, I'm going to tell you guys how do credit cards, what impact does it have just in general on credit, okay? But first, of course, I'm going to talk about credit, okay? Now, with credit, y'all, I know a lot of us, man, like growing up in the hood, I remember when it used to be a big deal about how big was your bankroll, right? You were literally going break a 20 into 5s and 1s, and you'll want to show how much money you got, right?
Wow.
I used to literally sit there and iron my money right? Just so I can look fancy when I broke the bankroll out. So, man, that stuff has come to a pass.
Wow.
Like I said, man, cash is king, right? But credit is power, okay? Credit is your opportunity to borrow way farther than what you could do on your own. There are celebrities with bad credit.
Yeah.
Okay. There are rich people with bad credit. You cannot buy good credit. It has to be built over time. I wish I could put that whole thing on repeat because I know someone still didn't get it, but I'm going to say it again. Credit is power. Okay. You can be this little, but acting that big with a powerful credit score. Okay.
So you mean to tell me that, no matter how much money that I have or anyone else has, it still has to be built now.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
it can't be where, just because I have money, automatically my credit gonna be good.
Right. And I'll say this,
Man.
that formula is built that way on purpose. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, because if that was the case, people can just continue to borrow every single year and never pay back, right? So you can't buy good credit, right? So I want to make sure that we understand that. I don't care. No one cannot get you a magical great credit score in 2 months. It's just not built that way.
Yeah.
The economy will plummet because people will be pretty much beating the system. So just know that credit is power and it has to be built. But I want to talk about one specific category in this formula today.
And
that category is what, Lavera?
Amounts owed.
Okay. AKA credit utilization,
Right.
AKA how much are you using of what they gave you?
Right.
All right. So I'm going to start out talking about that. And Lavera's going to talk about how some of this stuff been changing or how's it been affecting some of our lives during this COVID-19. Okay. So right now, with the credit score, the lowest credit score you can have is a 300. Okay. The highest credit score you can have is a 850. All right. Say that again. 300 is the lowest. The highest credit score is a 850. If you do the math on that real quick, okay, that is 550 available points off top. Okay. That's all that you're working with right now. So when you look at your credit score, you're asking yourself, of that 550 points, how many of them am I getting right now?
Right.
Okay. How many of them am I getting right now? And that's going to determine how high your credit score is. The whole idea of credit building is to capture as many points as you can of the 550 points. Okay. But like I said, we're going to talk about one specific area. But before I get into that, I want you guys to comment the deuce, put the twos up if you can hear me, because I want to say this. I want to make sure that we're able to get it. Also, if you have a second, go ahead and grab you like a little notepad, because there may be a lot of numbers sped out on this call. On this call, I'm sorry. Might be I've been doing a lot of consultations.
I'm telling you.
Look, it's going to be a lot of numbers spoken in on this live. So I want you guys to be able to take notes of it, because some of you are going to probably learn something and maybe put you in a good position to make some major moves right now in your life. Okay. Also, as far as stimulus money right now, okay, some of people are thinking like, what can I do, right? What small things can I do that can give me a better future, right? And this may be one of those categories, especially if you're mentioning zero credit cards on this post. All right. So hope you got your pen. Hope you got your paper. Here we go. All right. So one of the top categories, right? This is the second highest category. It's called, Vera said amounts owed. I called it credit utilization, right? Which is how much do you owe of what they gave you? Okay. This category is it 30%?
It is 30%.
It's 30% of the credit score. That's of that 550 points. This category is 165 points.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to be in any type of race where I'm missing out on 165 points and there's only 550 points available. So just in this category right here, if you have zero credit cards, you have not even unlocked this category on your credit score. Make sense?
That's an opportunity area.
That's an opportunity. Okay. You have not even unlocked it. So we're going to give you a way that you can actually get that credit card, because you might, because you don't have that credit card, more than likely your score is definitely not reaching the highs that it can reach. So you're going to want to add on a credit card. Okay. Now the downside is this is because you're missing those points, your score may not be where it needs to be. So you may have to actually get a security card, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because this is your introduction. Okay. This is your introduction into the credit card world. And this security card is going to lead you into a whole lot of other cards. Okay. Now I want to clear something up about this. I did say that that's 165 points, right? I know I did. Y'all like, man, get a credit card, get 165 points.
No.
Sounds great, right? But remember, you cannot buy a 850 credit score, right? You have to build it. It's built that way on purpose. So how do I get most of those points, Chris? Right? So you have to raise your utilization. I'm sorry, you have to raise your credit lines up gradually, right? So, for instance, let's say you start out with a $300 credit card, right? Then 6 months later, they give you 1,000, and then it goes to 2,000. Then next thing you know, you got another credit card. It's 5,000. The goal is to get to a very sexy $50,000 in available credit. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's just a good spot to be in the credit world, right? But not on. You got to think about it, Chris. If somebody give me $50,000 on a credit card, right? Okay, imagine how I feel, right? Somebody who couldn't get nothing at first, right? Now I have way over $50,000 in available credit, and
Right.
it's like, my goodness, like I want to, like I can just go buy a whole vacation right now. Like it's just so crazy. But the thing is, though, once you understand credit, you don't put yourself in jeopardy like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't put yourself in jeopardy like that. So that's the big thing, is that you have to work it in order to get it to give you more, because each period they're sitting back looking. How's he doing with that credit card he
Yep.
just got? How's he doing with it here? Okay, let's give him a little bump. All right. Then the other companies over there that's competing with them is like, oh, he's taking care of Credit One. He's taking care of Capital One. Let me get him this card. Let me
Yep.
offer him this card. And you're just gradually taking that credit line up to max out that category.
And listen, let me just add on this. And so, oh, I'm sorry. So pretty much, let's say for instance, you got a credit card, it is $300. A lot of times people don't understand this either. Like once you go over 30%, 30% of $300 is $90. So once you have a balance of $90, it drops your credit score. When you go over $150, because now that's 50% of that total card, it drops again. So, what Chris is speaking on is the companies are doing a eval sometimes every 6 months, every 12 months. They're trying to figure out, are you still qualified to have this credit card? And so if they're checking to see, if this person has been late recently, if you have been late within the last 24 months, or in some cards, the last 12 months, they could potentially drop your credit score or drop your lines of credit.
Right. Okay. We're gonna save that until you go into your part on that. But she was talking about the utilization of that credit card. Okay. So your goal is to keep it, we say, below 10%, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but if I gave someone $1,000 and I actually loan out money, and then they come back to me next month, they want more, and I ask them how much of the 1,000 do they still have, and they say, well, I got 100 of it left.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you spent 90% of it, so I'm not giving you no more coins, right? As a matter of fact, right?
Yeah.
You might want to come back once you've replenished that $1,000. So just think about it like that when you're using their credit cards. Okay. So I just want to give that little snippet as far as how does that go. Now, what I want to dive into is how is it that everyone is thinking of credit right now as far as the COVID-19? All right. One of the biggest things that people are thinking right now is that I have my credit cards, at least I do have my credit cards, right? And I get it, man. That's it's such a great opportunity to have that type of cushion. That's really what they're built for. They're built for emergencies, okay? But Lavera has something that happened today where a client called in and she was just absolutely dumbfounded by something. And we said, we have to make a video because this is what we're headed to right now. This is where we're headed to with all this stuff going on, is what we're going to tell you about right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lavera, can you tell me a little bit about that phone call?
Oh, definitely. So make sure, first of all, you share this video because this information is going to bless some people for real. That's real talk. We can't see any likes or anything, hearts, but share this video. So pretty much I got a phone call from a client. She was very concerned. Because her credit score had dropped because one of her cards actually closed. So this card never been late. True enough, she may have used it sporadically, but it was, and I'll make sure I name it, it's a Victoria's Secret card. So it's like, oh, my credit score went down. So in her mind, it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? And so I want to point something out is just like we all going through COVID-19, the companies are also going through it as well. So they're trying to pretty much reevaluate the risk. It does not matter how much the credit line is. It does not matter. It doesn't have to be whether it's 100, 300, 1,000, 5,000. In some cases they're reevaluating to see if you're still qualified to have that card. And in her case, she said, I only use it every now and again, and I believe the credit limit was only $100. And so from that, once she paid the $100, pretty much they closed the account. And so it's just a way that companies are closing the accounts. They're trying to pretty much eliminate and reevaluate, the risk level right now.
Right.
Places like Victoria's Secret, a lot of those places have shut down. Like they're in the malls. There's no standalone Victoria's Secret. So, it's nothing, against you, but, they're just taking precautions. Things that were once, hey, this is the score requirement now that has been raised because, companies are scared. They just don't trust that the consumers will be able to repay them,
Right.
especially with everything going on right now.
Right. Man, like that's why is this so important right now? Everybody just touched a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Okay. And some people be like, I'm going to get ahead of everything. I'm going to pay all these credit cards off. Right. I'm about to pay all these credit cards off that I owe. And to be honest, that is great, great news. You're thinking right. Your mind is on point. Okay. You're thinking right. All right. But the scary thing for some, especially if you got like $5,000 credit cards, 4,000, 2,000, 1,000, right? These companies do something that I like to call really they're walking you down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, when they ran your credit, you had great credit, okay? They gave you the credit card. Let's say you use the credit card, man. What do we use credit cards for? We use credit cards for remodels. We use credit cards for funerals, right? We use credit cards for vacations, emergencies, anything that pops up. So let's say that you use $3,900 of your $5,000 card. And it's been that balance pretty much. You've been paying the minimum payment for 7 months. Okay. Think about the company right now. Okay. So a lot of companies are decreasing their credit, meaning that they are not wanting to have that much money out there. Right. So who am I going to cut first? I'm going to cut the people that are carrying balances, paying minimum payments, and credit scores are not where we want them to be. Okay. Y'all, this is real. This stuff is happening, right? So all of a sudden, you pay them 2,000 of that 3,900. You look up now and your balance has shrunk, right? It's like, not your balance, your credit limit has shrunk, right? You're like, hold up, want this a $6,000 card? But now it's a $3,000 card, right? And you still got a $200 balance. And then, okay, so you pay them another 1,000. Then you look up and you got a $1,500 card. Now, I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm just trying to tell you guys that this could definitely be where we're heading. So your credit score right now is critical to your future right now. It is critical to your future right now. In the beginning, I talked about the power of a good credit score, right? Is what you're going to need. Because I don't know about you. If I was holding on to my company, okay, I done built it up, man. I done built my staff. I hired the right people. I'm in the right place. I got the great target audience. I got all this advertisement going. I had to cut off probably right now, right? And I'm sitting in this building and I want to keep my doors open. I got to be careful who I give my money to.
Yeah.
Period. I got to be careful who I'm giving credit to and talk about pay me later.
Yeah.
Right? So that means that the score requirements could possibly be going up. Okay. So you have to be building your credit. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably a lot of business being affected, man, but credit is booming right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's booming right now because anybody conscious right now got the sense to say, I'm finna hit me up somebody to fix some credit. Right? If it's the last bill getting cut off, is that credit repair because I'm going to need it. Right? I'm going to need it because my goals ain't changed. Right? I'm not letting this virus shake up my life. Right? And all of these companies are being affected. So what happened to that young lady is that the moment she paid off that full balance, they was like, thank God she gone.
Mm-hmm. Let me close it real quick.
Let me close that account. Right? Because it was just $100, but I'm trying to remove all risk.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now that they didn't collect it and got it down to zero, I had to cut her off. That's what the company was thinking. So when I saw that, I had on my last live, I know I mentioned that, y'all, but that's exactly what's going on. It's not like it's everywhere. That's not what I want you guys to think. Every company's doing that, but just know that some of these smaller companies, right? These companies that you look at and that stock is dropping, they are definitely assessing the risk, right? And they are getting rid of dead weight.
And just to sum that up, y'all, how does that affect it? Let's say, for instance, that's the only credit card that you have and they close it. now you'd have lost all history, or at least the age of that particular account. If you've had it for 2 years, now that's it's pretty much like your credit is brand new. On top of that, now you no longer have that category that Chris talked about. You're missing amounts owed, meaning that category is no longer available to you because the card is now closed. Mm-hmm. So anytime the card becomes closed, it's no longer calculating into that active credit score. Anything that you do within that 24-month mark is, and especially things that are open, those are things that are contributing to your actual credit score. So it's much more than just bam, it's now closed. Also, for people who are just trying to prematurely close accounts just because you're like, I don't use this, I don't use that, that's something else that also negatively affects your credit score.
Right. Man, that's another one of those categories, y'all. Credit cards actually affect a lot of the categories of the credit score. Payment history, utilization, age, types of credit. It pretty much affects all of it. So we're going to get to answering some of the questions for you. But as Lavera said, do not close your accounts. I know sometimes we get so excited, like I finally paid it off. I'm about to close this bad boy and watch that credit score drop. Right? Mm-hmm. You ever sit there and pay the car off and be like, why did my score drop when I paid the car off? Right? Because one of those categories have been affected. Yeah. Okay. If you're out there and you're working your own credit, right? My best advice to you is to understand those 5 categories. Okay. Now, no one can sit here and tell you, if you do this, you'll get 24 points. If you do this, you'll get 26 points. Like no one can do that. like that's just like, no one can do that. The formula is real funky, man. Nobody can really do that. So just make sure that you just become very familiar with those 5 categories so that you can know how to move. Okay. Also, if you are a client in our program, we're actually ramping up our rebuild products for people that do not run your credit. So if you are a client of Coleman Financials, look in your email here soon. We're going to resend you guys out some links with some automatic approval emails that can allow you guys to get you some credit building that allow you to build during this COVID-19 versus tearing down your life. Yeah. That's going to be a big deal. So I want to look at some questions over here. Queen Flower said, I'm ready to start credit repair. I definitely see you, sister. We'll get someone to reach out to you and help you with that. What do y'all think is a decent score right now? It's your question, Lavera.
Decent credit score right now is definitely going to be 680. So anywhere between 650 to 680, I would say, would be a decent credit score, because going in it was around, 625, 630 was, that's on the low end, but then most banks want you at least a 640 or above. So, the goal is to be anywhere between a 660 to 680. Right. Yep, 680.
And that depends on what you're doing too. Yeah. If you're doing some heavy stuff like trying to refinance a home, sis, you may be looking at 700s and above. When you're talking about getting some hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's going to definitely be probably 700 above for most places. And this is not to scare nobody, man. Yeah. Like, I'm just trying to, and be honest, also, this is not facts either. This is just where I see it. Just think like a businessman. Like, this just where it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, you can just see it. You just can see it. It just makes business sense. It's gonna be 700 for a while. Even after they release and let everybody, open the outside back up, right? Once they open the outside back up, folks start going back in their job. We still got a whole election coming up, right? Yeah. There's so much stuff happening that it's still gonna take a little minute for us to adjust. So I'm pretty much, man, I'm looking for the long run right now, but I'm mostly thinking about how do the decisions I make right now affect my future, man? Maybe I'm getting married. Maybe I'm going to have a kid. Maybe I'm going to buy a house, man. There's some big decisions coming, but don't pause. Like, don't stop. Don't just sit here and just wait for it to get better. Yes, they released some checks today, but man, that ain't going to cut it. And y'all know it. Yeah. It's not going to cut it, man. Like, nice favor, but man, we still got decisions to make, man. Careers have been lost, right? Degrees are almost meaningless right now because what can we do, right? But at least you can do is build your credit score, especially during a vulnerable time like this. Yeah. Right? Because just like we're struggling, so are the collection companies, right? They're struggling too. If folks ain't got money to pay them, then good luck staying open, right? But we're going to keep on pushing. You hear me? We're gonna keep sending them letters,
I'm
right?
telling you.
So man, like I said, it's a lot of great things going in, man. Our clients are seeing a lot of benefits right
And
now.
also just making sure the amount, the money that you're spending, it makes sense. So I've always been a person like, if it makes sense, then more than likely that's something that, building your credit score is one of those things that you're going to benefit the now and the later, because if your credit score is not where it needs to be, more than likely you're going to pay a lot more for things. You're going to have to pay deposits anytime it's time for you to get into an apartment, a home, or whatever, and you're going to pay a lot more. They're going to want a lot more because you're a higher risk to them.
Right.
The lower your credit score is,
right.
the higher risk you are. And so you pay more money for things. I can get the exact same thing, or someone else right beside you getting the exact same thing, because their credit score is a lot higher. They pay less.
Right.
So, spending your money right now, either to start a business or just, investing in yourself, like credit insurance and all those things, those are going to be things that are working in your favor versus, just the clothes and things that don't really just, bring you things. So that's all I see.
Right. Also, I'm going to finish up reading these questions, but if you would comment, how many credit cards do you have? And I don't think this is a private question. Like we have a hard time deciding what's private and what's not, man, because man, people learn from people. So we like to share. We're not private at all. We just kind of share so we can grow from each other. How many cards do you have? Is it 0? Is it 6? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 19?
Also, I want to say that if you're married, this is where you're able to get, like you may have 6, your mate may have 6, but if you're on your mate's credit cards and they're doing well on them, you could possibly have 12 accounts, but you only apply physically for 6. And of course, anytime you're added as an authorized user, that's not added. You're not taking any hits or any inquiries in doing that. So that's another thing, that's another technique. If you are married, if you have, mom, uncle, whoever that would allow you to be on their credit, that's something else that you can benefit from as well, to give you more of that category that we talked to you about, which is that credit card category.
Awesome. So Latoya Parker said, I have one I opened after the email I received. Go girl.
Okay.
You're on your way. You're taking care of business.
I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. Right. It's something about a woman that's fixing her credit and saving her coins. Jesus.
I sure know one.
Hey.
All right. I just paid 3 of my credit cards off. Good, London. Make sure you're looking at them, making sure they ain't trying to, throttle you down on them. Just kind of look back at them once those balances post. And that's a good move. And I know that credit score jumping too if you just did that.
I'm telling you.
What else we got? Queen Flower says she want to start. Someone said, "Dang, my biggest card is 500. I'm trying." No, you're doing a great work. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you just kind of getting your foot in the door, and once you take care of that card, then more cards are going to start to come.
Man, you got to crawl before you walk.
That's just the way it works. So keep that balance down. And all of a sudden they're gonna get thirsty. They're gonna be like, man, I need somebody to get his money to. Man, London look like a good choice because London be taking care of her cards good, right?
Yeah.
Let me send her one. Then also you start getting them cards with that 0% interest, right? And that's a whole different conversation. All right. Then we got Toria said, oh yeah, it's real. What do you think is a decent score right now? Lavera already answered that one. So if I use my credit card regularly, that's bad. You
want me to touch on that?
You would, yeah.
So using your credit card is not the issue. It's how much you're using of your credit card. So if you have a $300 credit card, and you shouldn't use no more, or at least leave a balance of no more than 30%. So we tell our clients anywhere between 10 to 7%, so that we encourage our clients, only spend what you can afford to pay off in a month, because if you're leaving balances, you're paying interest. So a lot of times when people are having those high balance credit cards, they're leaving a balance, which means that they're paying interest, and interest rolls every month, not just one time. So I just want you to know that. And that's where people get wrapped. So it's how much you're using up your card. Try to not use no more than 30%. And if you are going to use, because there's a difference between the billing cut date and the billing due date. So, when you see people say that they maxed the card out, more than likely they paid the card off before it cut, meaning it looked like it never happened. So that's another thing. Like, you would find that from your actual credit card statement. Find out what is the billing cut date. It's going to be different from the actual due date. I want you to know that. So you may be due on the 30th of the month, but the billing cut date is the 15th of the previous month. So you just have to find that out from your statement. The goal is for you to get it paid off before it cuts. If you're going to use it like that, that's for people who are more advanced. Okay.
Right.
If you are not, make sure you're only using no more than 30% and that you have intentions of paying off that particular debt or down at least between 7 to 10% each and every month.
Man, yeah, I'll tell y'all, like off one live video topic, it can be like 20 more topics because I heard like 5 things that could be a whole video. But I want to definitely get all the questions answered so that we can at least clear up the queue right now. We got Tina Lee that says she has 0. With that, Tina, we can send you over something in your inbox where you can actually grab your first card. And I'll tell you what that is. That's going to more than likely be a secure card. If you know your score, you can kind of send that back and you tell me that, then I can tell you what else we may be able to do if it's not secured. But a secured card is where you send them money and they send you a card with that amount. Okay. When they send you that card with that amount, you're pretty much using that card as a vehicle into the credit card world, right? The beautiful thing about the cards that we send is they don't even run your credit. Because one thing about it is that we don't like for people to feel rejection because that's what we used to feel, right? So you're going to be able to get this card and get automatically approved just because it came from Coleman Financials, and they're going to send you your card within 5 to 7 days. And next thing you know, we're going to then, okay, you can inbox us back and say, hey, we got it. Oh, 7 to 14 days.
14 days.
You'll let us know, and then we'll send you, how to use that card. The idea is to make it look like you don't need their money. Yeah. Right. It's like, I got your money, but I don't need your money. That make them want to give you more money. Right. So that's really the name of the game. Sherrod Brown, you say you have 1. So with you having 1 card, and then right under that, JC says that he has 6. So I'll tell you guys about that. Ideally, you want to have above 6 to 7 credit cards. And the reason being is because if one of them was to close because maybe it was sucky and it had an annual fee on it that you didn't like or something like that, it wouldn't make the credit score dip too far, right? So there's like a sweet spot in there somewhere between like 7, maybe 8 credit cards or so. I think that's probably what most people are going to have to figure out how to maximize their credit score, but also put up a safety net in case they had to close one of the cards that was costing them too much in annual fees without it dropping their score too much. So you're in a good place, JC. The next thing is to run those limits up, right? So kind of make sure you're keeping them low. Make sure you keep on paying them consistently, of course. Use them. Don't let them die out, right? Use them and then pay it off. Then all of a sudden raise that limit. Once you get that credit score above $50,000, you're going to open up some different type of point brackets in that 165 point category. Tina said, my husband paid off our first house and neither of us have a credit card, but he wants a bigger house. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Then, so if you want to get a bigger house, especially with the way things are going, you're gonna want to get that credit score real sexy, right? You want to definitely get a credit card on there, especially since I just mentioned that was 165 of the only 550 points available, right? That means there are only somewhere between 395 points available, and that's just too little space to work with. Go ahead and open that category up. Get you guys a credit card. I would probably start out with a secure card each. Grow that secure card. Go ahead and one of you guys probably get a major credit card again, and then you guys piggyback off of each other in what we call authorized users. Okay, authorized users mean that you have one card, but it's being benefited on by 2 or more people. Okay, that's a whole nother industry out there, guys, that people are taking advantage of, which is allowing them to get quick jumps on their credit score just to get approved for things. So, man, great questions. Are there any more that we can answer?
What's the best card to have?
Want to answer that?
So I would tell you when you're first building your credit score, I'm gonna be completely transparent. More than likely, the cards are gonna be sucky. So if you got the first premieres, if you got the different cards, just to be honest, those cards are designed to help you rebuild. It's designed to make you look different to other credit card companies. To, like Chris said, to make you look sexier than where you were before. So when you first get started building your credit score, a lot of times you're not going to be able to be approved for a lot of cards, but it just depends on, what do you care about? You got cards that offer cash back. You got cards that do travel points. You got all types. You have choices. You begin to get choices when you grow your credit score. So the very first step is just to make sure that you're growing that credit score so that you can say, well, that APR is just a little bit, too extensive. Right. Or I would like a card that has cash back where I can, get cash back on, my telecom and different things that I have. Now you have choices, but when you first start out, you don't have a lot of choices because no one will, let you get credit. If you have Fingerhood on your credit, Fingerhood typically is the only one sometimes that will give you credit after everybody else has said no. Fingerhood, I use my Fingerhood maybe once or twice a year, if that, just so that they can keep my lines of credit. I think I got $5,000 in available credit with them. And they simply send me text messages and say, hey, you got available credit. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Time to buy some curtains.
Like, I'm telling you, you buying curtains and, but I'm only buying one thing and I'm paying it off.
Right.
That very next month, when they send me the bill, I'm paying it off. That'll buy me 2 to 3 months because I don't use that card every single month. I ain't trying to use that card, but I still keep it open because more than likely there was one of my very first accounts that gave me a chance and it has a great deal of age associated with it. So I definitely don't want to close it because it's going to drop my credit score if I do. So that's so it just depends. I love Discover. Discover is awesome. They do have different programs where when you come in, they have certain periods where you go 0% APR, meaning it's sort of like you repaying your own money. It's like hey, I give you 1,000, you pay me 1,000 back, and without having to pay interest. So the better your credit score begin, you get in position, you'll be able to have more leverage when it comes down to what type of credit cards you have access to.
Right. What they say. So somebody said Fingerhood keeps stalking me. They probably think you need them. So if you're building that credit score, then it might be a good idea to get you one of those accounts. What do we got here? So we also got someone said that I have one credit card, but I'm afraid of getting more because of debt. And that's a very normal fear. I think that was me too. It wasn't because of, well, I guess it was debt, but I was more so like, man, them folks give me 10 bands, man. I'm going to burn it up.
And ladies, don't be afraid to take your man's credit card, okay? And listen, for a while, like me, Chris and I, we were building our credit. Well, at least when I first got him on board. Chris has a spending problem, or at least had one.
Who's not spending it on, though?
Listen, that's neither here nor there. See, I'm a basic chick, I'm fly, I want to be, but listen, I don't need all of that. And so Bay was, he had to get his cards taken until he got a great deal of discipline on his own. But
don't tell that story.
Ladies.
Don't tell that story no more.
I mean, because some women need to hear that, because some of their husbands may be just as uncoachable.
Let's keep bringing the tea.
Oh, as you were. I just want to drop that, ladies. Listen, listen. And you may be the spender, ladies. You may have, your husband may be like, Lord, if she buy one more red bottom, if she get another Louis bag, like, listen, ladies,
see, like, treat me like the credit score. I want you to know about who I am right now, not who I was.
Right. Okay.
Treat, like the credit score. Think about me like that. Who am I now?
Yeah, you are. You are a changed person.
All right.
So if you're looking at your credit score and you're not happy where it is right now, just think about it. That's the old you. Going forward, you got to create a new you. Just like you beat your face, put your wig on, and, you walk just a little bit different. It's the same way. You ain't remember when you had the, what you call it, the Queen Latifah braids and all of that. You know what I'm saying? We're not going there. We are new, so that's the same concept with your credit. So, creditors or credit card companies, if you don't have new things that make them see something different, they looking at when you had the Queen Latifah braids. They don't see nothing else. They just say you the chick that had the Queen Latifah braids that never greased your hair. That is what they see. And I'm responsible.
So pretty much, she's saying that on your credit report, there's a whole lot of the old you. The whole goal of our process is we're trying to decrease the old you, right, yep, and increase the new you.
I'm telling you.
Okay, that's the whole process, and that's the honestly the time frame. So London said. What's that, London?
London said, is it good to have multiple lines of credit through
the same place?
Hold up, multiple lines of credit through one company. I have regular Capital One and a Walmart Capital One, and my car is financed through Capital One. So that just means that you're doing a really good job at building a relationship. I look at credit as building a relationship. The more great and awesome relationships that you have, the more that they're going to give to you. So when you're ready to purchase a home, it's going to be a no-brainer because London been scratching my bag. Why wouldn't I scratch her bag? So that is awesome. That means that you're doing a really good job at building relationships with that particular company.
Right. And when you do decide to step outside that company, which you should, because you just probably heard how many cards you actually need, they're going to be feeling like they stealing you from them. So
Yeah.
you want them to feel like you are a big deal, right? I've
Yeah.
been taking care of them for years. So I know y'all want me on this side. And they're going to see that you've been treating Capital One pretty good. And they're going to want you inside of their program, taking advantage of their products. Someone said you guys should create different packages for different credit scores. That's quite interesting. We pretty much in our program, all of our clients get the absolute, they have a unique process to their specific needs, but all of our clients pretty much, we're doing the same thing. We're deleting and we're adding on for most of them. The only difference in any of our packages is our platinum package, which is where you specifically only work with Lavera and some different perks in that. But other than that, man, our clients are all taking advantage of the program. And I know that you probably like the pricing, right? But we do have some stuff, y'all. When you lock the Colemans in the house, right? Man, we're gonna come out shooting,
Man,
right?
I'm telling
So
you.
we got some stuff that we're putting together that's gonna make this credit thing, man. We're gonna put a dent in that credit score nationally as far as where people stand. So we got some stuff coming, y'all. I'm talking super, super affordable things that are coming out there that is going to make it where anybody can take action on their credit. And Lavera got some another things as well for the ladies, man, coming out that I can't wait to be released because she's been working on it for a couple of years now. But y'all, I think decent score right now. I think we've pretty much answered the questions. I'm going to wrap up with what this whole video was about. I wanted to make you guys aware of credit card companies that throttle you down. Okay, so you got to remember. So they're sitting there and they're got a board, like they probably got a virtual Zoom board now, where everybody's on the Zoom call, and they're like, "Hey, Larry, so how are we going to project into our future, right? So we have 5 years coming up here, and then what do we look like in 5 years? So what can we do now? Because the 5 year, the 5 year, whatever word they use is not looking real clear. Okay, so what we can do is we're going to have to cut the losses now. Let's cut some of the fat. What's some of the fat, right? Some of our clients, they don't shop often, but they sit there and they're holding our credit, right? And they're keeping their balances high, but that's a high risk. We need to shrink these accounts, okay? Is there anywhere, how much can we shrink in the credit to make sure that we're able to just sustain for another 5 years, right? Like, this literally, man, look, man, I'm literally like seeing in my head, like I done made all this up. Man, I done made all this up, but I'm just picturing how the conversation going. They are trying their best to make sure that they make it out of this COVID, right?
Man.
So they're throttling down. So how do they do that? One more time. You got $2,000, but you've been using 1,800 of it for the last 22 months, right? Okay. You go send them $1,800 right now. Next thing you know, you're like, I thought I had 2,000. Now you got 1,000 now, right? Because you gave us a chance to bring that thing down, right? And that's not. I'm just saying like that could happen. So the best bet right now is to still, man, pay your bills, take care of it, let them do what they're gonna do. Handle your business, pay them cards down, keep that doggone credit score booming, but just be aware that's the case. So if you call yourself paying a credit card off with $800 and that's your last $800, but you plan on using that card, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I might have to go half and half. I'll send you 400 and see if y'all gonna throttle me. If y'all don't throttle me, I'm gonna send you the other 400 later, right? I'm just being real, guys, just to be sure.
You paying double dutch, man. Let me get in there.
I'm telling you, because they might just say, "I'm gonna peek at their credit score and make sure they still paying on time."
I'm telling you.
Oh no, man, they're affected by the COVID. You know what I'm saying? Let me knock that junk down. So I'm just being real, guys, and giving y'all that, man. That's about as real as I can be. So look it up. And also, it wouldn't hurt to get on the phone with them too before you make your payment. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me make my payment. I want to make sure that everything is good with you guys.
Don't forget the key, which was accommodation. So use the word accommodation when you are speaking to them. That way, you're not acting like I can't do this. You know, just a better word. You know, that's the key word. I think Chris talked about it our last live. But someone asked a really good question. Hey, Barry. Hey, Regina. What's up, Crystal? Hey, what it do, chick? Hey, Debbie. Debbie said, call me. You ready to sign up, Debbie? I think Debbie's already declined. I think we got 3 Debbies.
That's right. I think that Debbie.
I think Debbie. Debbie said, call me. She said, call me. Okay, cool. Also, Tanya said, When paying off multiple cards, which should I pay down first? First of all, I think there was so what I did, honestly, I pretty much was able to get us out of credit card debt in less than 1 year. I used the snowball method. So the snowball method
that was in your notes, Vera.
Oh, my bad. Chris, Chris gets me all off track and get me distracted.
I'm looking at this 45-minute live that ain't gonna go to enough people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
See,
I'm
David said I'm
technical.
fine. Yeah. So it's a snowball method. So let me make sure that I tell you guys about the snowball method. The snowball method is amazing because I was able to pay down over $4,000 in credit card debt in less than 1 year. How did I do that? So first of all, I had to change my mindset. I had to pretty much find money in my household. Where are the money? Like in order for you to do that, you're gonna have to pretty much write down everything you spend money on. And how I did that, I just used my card for everything for one entire month with no cash, ain't no random. Let me go to the ATM, none of that. That way you can go straight to your credit card statement to see what are you spending money on. What I did find was I was spending money on eating out. I think I was eating out more than $150 a week by myself. That does not include the family. Also, I was.
Don't tell that story no more.
Because you gotta tell the story, Chris. Because
we scratching out what stories you ain't gonna tell no more.
But people need to know where we come from. I think that's important and very transparent. Like I was spending money on, like eating out. I spent $150, and the only way you can track that is to find out. Just you have to take a notate of. And then also I had to find $200. So that's the first thing. Find out where you're spending money on, and so find at least $200 in your house, whether it's you cutting those subscriptions that you're not using, that you don't even know where they are, who they for. Whether it is you not having to get your nails done, and right around this time we're not getting our nails done anyway. We're not getting our hair done, so that's our hair money. And we definitely ain't eating out because most of these places ain't even open. We cooking at home.
That's a lot of savings right there.
Savings is already right there. So pretty much when my mind shifted, and also this was during the time where I was working a job, okay? So when I was working a job and I was in a sales role, which means that I got bonuses. For every bonus that I got, we had like a little prepaid card that they load, and I used to work for AT&T, and I didn't count that money. Every bit of it went towards extra. There will be times I spent that I apply 4 or 5 payments to one card, but I started with the smallest amount first. That's how the snowball method rolls. Once you have found $200 in your house or in your budget, you're now going to snowball it. So if your lowest debt is, let's say for instance, it's only $250. So, and the minimum payment is normally what, $20. So you're going to still pay your minimum payment of $20. So yes, $20 is a given, but you just found $200. Mm-hmm. So now instead of paying $20, you're now paying $220 of the $250. Now you got a $30 balance, and you're that much closer. It took you 1 month, 1.5 months to pay off one debt, and you just keep snowballing it in. And so you're taking the money that you were using on the previous debt to apply to the next one. And by the time you get to the credit card or the big monster that's $11,000+, you're sometimes applying $700 a month on there, which takes you a lot less time to get that consumed versus just paying the minimum amount. So The snowball method, I would definitely make a video specifically for that, showing you an example, but that's just the idea of it. You want to make sure you start with the smallest debt first, or if you have a credit card that is over the limit, you definitely want to get that under the limit and then start snowballing your way, based off of your your debt, because when you start snowballing that debt, you got to celebrate the small wins. And that's what I had to learn. Like, when you pay off that little $250 credit card, you're like, woo, I did it. I just did it. And then you rolling into it. It really pumps you up, because honestly, you can't save money until you get some of that up off you, because you feel like I don't even have the money, Vera, to save any money. So that is my recommendation. Start with your lowest credit card debt first, or if you have one that is over the limit, I would start with that one.
That's good. So
that's
how you did it.
That's how I did it.
I appreciate you for that.
That's how I did it.
Right.
So, did we have any more questions? Like, this was lit. Like, I feel like you guys have been given a bunch of information, and definitely don't sleep on your credit score because your goals definitely shouldn't change. You know, you shouldn't let COVID-19, man, cut in on you. Like my pastor said, who cut in on you, sir? Like, no, you shouldn't let anything, the devil, anything, you should, man, keep moving like nothing ever happened, okay? Because at the end of the day, once all of this is over with, what happens if you do nothing during this time? What do you go back to? You probably go back into your credit score being worse than what it was. That's definitely not the goal. You know, if you are trying to still make sure you're in a line or in the time frame that you're looking at, make sure you are still moving. You're moving. You're moving.
That's it. Also, if you were one of those people that got a chance to push your car note back 2 payments, because a lot of dealerships were doing that. If that wasn't you, you might want to check on it. You know what I'm saying? To see if you can do that. You might pay a little bit more interest, but at least you can come up on some cash flow right now. That should definitely be going toward any credit card debt that you have. So pay it down just so you can get that score good. So you don't find yourself starting this thing with 4,000 available and ending it with only 1,500
Yeah.
because companies were running from you. So remember that those balances do affect the credit score heavily.
Yeah.
Okay, heavily. Okay, even if you're in credit repair right now, that is not a wait till they remove all these negatives and then want to pay it off. No, you pay it off while we're removing the negatives at the same time. Right? You got to make sure you're moving and make sure you're moving quick because every dollar matters, right? And credit matters because credit is power.
Yes.
Credit is power. Okay. And also for all my relationships out there, all of the couples, man, both of y'all get that credit together. You know, both of y'all. It's just not right when one person's up and one person's down. That means that y'all conversations don't match, right? You're wanting it and I got it. You know, so we need to both have it, but we got to work together to get it. So work for it and work with each other, not against each other, on building those credit scores and get on the same page. But also, man, congrats to everybody that got started, man. Today, like it's been crazy. Like people are really taking advantage of, really awesome credit restoration. Man, we're consistent. Customer service is going to always be on 10. I don't care. We had one person on that phone. We're going to make sure that you getting what you need. You're going to get notified. You're going to be able to see what's going on. Your letters are going to go out on time.
On time. That's
right?
important.
We're going to be organized. Your information is going to be secured, right? And most of all, your credit score is going to grow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to grow and you're going to go to bed like, at least I know Coleman Financial is doing their job.
I'm telling you.
Right. That's what we for. And you can't go on a live and say this if you ain't about that life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about that life because I know that we bust our butts for our clients, y'all. So, man, I really do hope y'all enjoyed this live video. We are, and somehow again, the kids didn't even wake up doing the live. Yeah. Like, this is crazy. This home stuff is getting normal. It's the new normal. So, speaking of the new normal, man, shout out to Jasmine for these masks.
Yes.
Guys, I want to show y'all a mask that she made for us. They are lit.
Yes, they are. Jasmine Trikosh. From Dream Life. From Dream Life. Listen, these joints are lit. Go out in style. I love them.
Right. And also support your entrepreneurs. Matter of fact, that's going to be the next video.
Man.
We're going to talk about how important is it to support local businesses. I don't think we realize how much that affects our community. So that's going to be the next video that you see from us, and that can be coming in the next few days. All right, y'all. We absolutely love what we do.
Yes.
Right. This is your credit couple. This is Chris and Lavera. Man, we get to do this, man. God, the same thing that nearly ended us is the same thing that brought us together. And right now, to spend an hour with you guys online is a gift to us. Yeah. Right. So y'all enjoy this information. Remember, we got some major things coming, man. Like, I mean, I'm serious, man. Like, some of y'all gonna be so happy. We got some major things coming down the line, man, that y'all are gonna absolutely love. All right, y'all. I am out. This is Chris of Coleman Financials.
And this is Lavera of Coleman Financials. And listen, I enjoy helping people. Well, we enjoy helping people just overall understand the power of credit, because that's really what it's about. When I fix your credit and educate you, that's a different type of feeling. You're going to walk different and you're going to thank me for life. So definitely make sure that you tune in to the next video. Like Chris said, we're going to do a video on on why you should be supporting your local businesses, man. Businesses right now are taking hits. There's some things that are happening in our community, but listen, the main thing is just to make sure that you are, that you're in position, and that your coins are going to the right to the right companies. I would tell you, small businesses are some of the most hardworking individuals that I have ever seen, not just from myself. I know we work extremely hard at what we do, and we've seen many others. So, let's make sure that we get together and we support our local businesses, okay? Especially our Black-owned businesses, okay? So, all right, y'all, we are out, and to the next video. Peace out, y'all. Yes, yes.